The council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Zethkar's tentacles curled in obvious distress. The Galactic Federation's newest member, the Krethak Collective, had just made what could only be described as a catastrophic error. "You did what?" Admiral Vextha hissed, her scaled hide shifting from blue to a dangerous crimson. We captured 3 human vessels," Commander Veltok repeated, his 4 eyes blinking rapidly. "They were in unclaimed space. Our protocols clearly state—" "Your protocols," interrupted Elder Mordun, his ancient voice carrying the weight of centuries, "clearly state that you consult Federation guidelines before engaging unknown species. Had you done so, you would have discovered Rule 1 of galactic diplomacy." The Krithak delegation exchanged nervous glances. Rule 1 was legendary, though few knew its origins. "Humans are off limits," Admiral Vextha stated flatly. "We don't touch them, ever." Commander Veltok's mandibles clicked in confusion. "But they're primitives. They barely have faster-than-light capability. Their ships are crude metal constructions held together with—" "Commander," Elder Morden's voice cut through the protest like a plasma blade. "How long have you been alive?" 47 standard cycles, Elder. I am 832 cycles old. I was present when Rule 1 was established. Would you care to know why?" The chamber's atmospheric processors seemed to hum louder in the silence that followed. Elder Morden activated the holographic display at the center of the chamber. Star. Charts appeared, showing a sector of space that many present recognized as the former territory of the hegemony, a militaristic empire that had once controlled nearly a quarter of the galaxy. The hegemony first encountered humans approximately 200 cycles ago, Mordun began. Like you, they dismissed them as primitives. The humans had just achieved interstellar flight and were exploring nearby systems with the enthusiasm of children discovering a new playground. The hologram shifted, showing sleek hegemony dreadnoughts surrounding a small, boxy human vessel. The hegemony saw an opportunity, a young species to subjugate, to add to their empire as they had done with dozens of others. They captured the human ship, enslaved its crew, and prepared to move on the human homeworld. Veltok leaned forward. "And?" "The humans asked for their people back. Politely." The hegemony laughed. The display showed diplomatic transmissions, formal requests, increasingly desperate pleas from Earth's primitive governments. The humans asked again, still politely. They offered trade agreements, cultural exchanges, even territorial concessions. The hegemony ignored them. Elder Mordun's expression grew dark. Then the humans stopped asking politely. The hologram exploded into motion. What had been empty space around human territory suddenly swarmed with vessels, not the crude boxes they'd been building before, but sleek, aggressive ships that seemed to have been designed by someone who understood warfare on a fundamental level. In 18 months, Mordun continued, the humans went from barely being able to leave their own system to fielding a fleet that made our best admirals wake up in cold sweats. They didn't just build ships, they built weapons we'd never seen before, developed tactics we'd never imagined, and displayed a level of strategic thinking that defied every model we had for primitive species development. The display showed battle after battle, human fleets moving like a single organism, ships that could reconfigure themselves mid-combat, weapons that seemed to bend the laws of physics. But that wasn't the terrifying part, Mordun said quietly. The terrifying part was that they never stopped being human. I don't understand, Veltok whispered. Every species we'd ever encountered followed predictable patterns during warfare. They became more aggressive, more militaristic, more simple. War tends to strip away complexity and nuance. But humans? They became more human. They composed poetry between battles. They held memorial services for their enemies. They continued their scientific research, their art, their music. They waged the most sophisticated war the galaxy had ever seen while simultaneously reaching new heights of cultural achievement. The hologram showed the final battle. Thousands of human ships surrounding the hegemony's capital world. The hegemony's leadership expected the humans to destroy them. It's what they would have done. Instead, the humans broadcast a single message across all frequencies. A new image appeared. A middle-aged human woman standing at what appeared to be a podium flanked by children. "We came for our people," she said simply. "Give them back and we'll leave." All of this, she gestured to the massive fleet surrounding the planet. This was never about conquest. This was about family. The chamber remained silent as the hologram faded. "The hegemony returned the captives," Morden continued. "All of them in perfect health with formal apologies. The humans collected their people, said thank you, and left. The entire fleet, gone. Back to their little corner of the galaxy." "What happened to the hegemony?" asked Ambassador Zethkar, though his tone suggested he already knew. "They disbanded voluntarily within a decade. Turns out when you realize there's a species out there that can build an unstoppable war machine out of pure love, and then choose not to use it for conquest, well, it puts your own imperial ambitions in perspective." Elder Morden stood slowly. "Commander Veltok, you now have approximately 72 standard hours before human ships arrive at your position. I suggest you spend that time preparing, the most sincere apology in the history of interstellar diplomacy, and pray to whatever deities your people worship that they're in a forgiving mood." "But Elder," Veltok protested weakly, "surely our defensive fleet can—" "Commander," Admiral Vextha interrupted, her scales now a pale, fearful white. "The humans haven't built a proper warship in over a century. They haven't needed to. Every species in the galaxy knows Rule 1, except apparently you." She leaned forward, fixing him with all four of her eyes. "The question isn't whether your fleet can stop them. The question is whether the rest of us will be able to stop them from turning your entire civilization into a very educational example." In the silence that followed, everyone in the chamber heard the soft chime of an incoming transmission. The communication officer's voice was barely a whisper. "Elder Morden, we're receiving a message from Earth. They're asking for their people back, politely." Elder Morden closed his ancient eyes. "Rule 1, Commander. We don't touch the humans, because when you make them stop being polite—" He didn't need to finish the sentence. Everyone present could imagine the rest.